Well, welcome back to another edition of Carl's Corner,
Yep.
and welcome to bring back my most loyal guest, great old Frankie Ray, direct from Nashville. You actually reached out to me this past week, wanting to come on, so I'm so gracious that you reached out, Frankie. And I know it's been 2 weeks since the last time, but hey, great to have you back on. And what's the good news, and what else you want to talk about? Because the floor is yours. Because actually, it's going to be Frankie Ray's podcast too that we're talking about. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Carl, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for taking the text. Yes, it's true. I texted Carl just a couple days ago and was like, "Yo, man, I had a really, really cool opportunity come up, and I was able to do something really, really cool. It was a big milestone for me and as an artist, and just here in Nashville." So I was like, no better place to talk about it. We had just got done talking about how just reach out anytime to come and talk about cool things like that. So why not get the ball rolling with this? So I got a phone call. I was moving out of my living situation, moving into a new living situation on Thursday of last week, when I got a phone call from a dear friend, Chris Austin, who was like, "Hey, man, I know this radio host. His name is Jeff Shannon, and he just had a call out or something like that for a songwriter round, and he's looking for someone to fill in a spot for tonight. Can you do it?" And at first I was a little hesitant. I was like, I don't know. I got to drive an hour to get out there to Hendersonville during rush hour. But he convinced me, and I went and did it, and I'm very happy that he did. I got to sit alongside in a songwriting round two incredible songwriters. One is Bill O'Hanlon, and the other one goes by the name of J4. These gentlemen, in their own rights, are phenomenal songwriters. J4 currently works at Belmont. He's a Belmont alum. He's been in Nashville doing the thing. I think he said somewhere around, he's a little over tenured in Nashville, and he is actually getting ready to release his first single and or EP. I believe it's an EP. And then Bill O'Hanlon next to me. That gentleman is a walking god amongst gods. I'll tell you, this man, he wrote 2,200 songs, somewhere around there, and he has just a little over 200 songs cut and on records. He also, before that, he's a retired psychotherapist. So this guy has a lot of love stories. He has a lot of heartbreak stories. And so just a lot of motivation to write songs, a lot of emotions, and it truly shows in his music. But yeah, so basically made a radio debut.
So because now obviously with me in California, you're in Nashville, and you still have family back east in Jersey.
Yep.
People were just popping on. Where was this radio station, and where you said you had to drive out there for about an hour?
Yeah.
So Nashville Metro, but it still had that. So you give us where it was and kind of reaction you got from that once you were on. Now, you were there for an hour. How long were you on the air?
Yeah, so we were on the air for an hour. It was in so it's still in Nashville technically. It's in the Nashville metropolitan area, but Hendersonville's a little ways south, I believe, a little ways southeast, or no, actually it was a little north. Yeah, it's north. Hendersonville is north. We basically were on the air for an hour in a songwriter round that they usually do on Thursdays. And God bless you. And it was WHIN.
All letter. Yeah, what's the frequency? Yeah, you were just about saying that.
I get to it. 100.7, and it's WHIN. So WHIN 100.7. They are Sumner County, as you can see. Sumner County's #1 hit music station. That's their little car. So their headquarters are in this little shopping mall, and in this shopping mall there is the local Hendersonville, which is one of their locations, and they basically run this songwriter round out of the local. So there's this big Thursday night crowd, just everyone having a good time, people getting dinner, people getting drinks, and listening to good music. And they've got live music and writers rounds all night, and it's just a cool little thing that they do. They bring the dude in with the big sound gear. He's got all the sound equipment. They set him up on the other side of the stage, and basically run the radio station from in there for an hour. And it was really cool to be able to say that I made my radio debut officially. So 100.7 WHIN, you can actually download their app, and you can listen to that radio. You can listen to that specific time. You can listen to it on the radio, or you can also just kind of stream them from anywhere in the world. So they pride themselves in having the ability to be listened to internationally.
So what was your when you were called on? What did you discuss? What did you play?
Yeah.
For your time that you were on there.
Mm-hmm. Some of the cool things that we got to discuss were basically what we would do is he would call on us and then ask us a question, kind of just however the starter questions in the beginning, and then that kind of led into my first song, and then we would just go down the line. Songwriter rounds, you go down the line one at a time. So they started with me, and I got to sing some of my favorite songs that I've written, songs that people don't really get to hear much anymore. One of the most popular songs from when I did the 30 dates or so in Jersey, one of the most popular songs of mine was Fallen Roses, and that would go over really well with the audience in Jersey. So getting to play that on the radio station was pretty cool, to just kind of get a feel for how people were going to like it. So I got to do that one. I got to do Lover's Band, which is one of my first songs that I ever wrote, and was able to sing that. And it was good to bring out some of the oldies of mine, the songs that I really don't get to sing much. And then we did Hello, Catherine, which again is one of my favorite songs from the EP, the Funny Feelings EP. So, and I love getting to perform Hello, Catherine for people. It's, like I said, it's a ghost story. Here's something we could talk about, Carl. I finally figured out how to talk about my songs.
Good. Finally break out of your shell. I know you're so shy that you can't really speak. So
I know, right?
I know. Give it a shot, Frankie. I know you can do it.
I'm excited about this, and there's so much information to talk about. But so we had what was I saying? What the hell was I saying? Oh, all right, cool. The storytelling, by singing the song, you hear that and you can hear a story, right? But one of the most important things for songwriting rounds is to explain your song and the story behind your song before you sing it, or maybe after, So I'm always struggling with how to tell the story behind my songs, because a lot of times I tell people my songs are still in their adolescence. They're still learning. I'm still learning them. They're still learning me. I'm still writing the story about them. Yes, Hello, Catherine and the other 4 songs are in that EP, in the Funny Feelings EP. Just because they're in there doesn't mean I'm necessarily done with them. They're all, I can say those songs have matured, but they're not adults yet. And so I'm still working on my songs. And so Hello, Catherine, I finally found its adult body in a way. And I finally found that Hello, Catherine is ultimately my ghost story. I had a songwriter tell me one time, he's like, he was asking me about my songs and the songs I've written. And he said to me, he said, well, do you have a ghost story? And I said, no, I don't think I do. And he's like, you should write a ghost story. Everyone needs a story that's mystical. Everyone needs a story that's kind of out of this world. And how many people are going to believe a ghost story? And so I think Hello, Catherine, that night at the radio station, at the radio debut, as I was singing it, I truly realized how much of a ghost story Hello, Catherine is. One of my favorite songs that is a ghost story is it's called Joanna. It's by Bobby Mackey. And it is written about his bar in Kentucky called Bobby Mackey's. And it's in Kentucky, and the building is known by the locals there that it is haunted, that it had a bunch of different scary ghosts and stuff. And so Bobby Mackey got there, and when they were remodeling the building, they found a poem written on the wall. And so he wrote a song about this poem and what that poem meant to the people who had lived and worked in that building years prior. We're talking like the 1930s when that building was built. So it's a pretty cool story, and the way they make the song connecting to the story, it's beautiful. So I took a lot of inspiration from that song to write Hello, Catherine, but never even really realized that Hello, Catherine itself was a ghost story. So learning my songs has been a progressive, growing feature of mine. And so I hope that the songs are coming off well for you guys. And I hope that the way I tell the stories about them is able to connect with people.
What was the reaction you got from the radio station from when
It was great, man. First of all, just me posting that I made my debut, there was tons of love from my family, friends, and fans. So thank you, everybody who reached out and commented and messaged me and just wanted to talk about it. I love that stuff. I love getting to talk with people, especially the fans. So thank you so much for everybody who reached out and was commenting and showing their love and appreciation. I mean, it was awesome, man. From the radio itself, we had a really good skyrocket in numbers for the listening. I looked at just the numbers. There was a good influx on that day. You know what I mean? I can look at it day by day on the analytics of when people were listening. And usually after my shows is a day of if I have a show that day, I get a lot of people who go on and listen. And just that day specifically was a great day for numbers. They almost doubled from what they normally are daily. So no complaints. You know what I mean? Thank you guys so much to who's listening. And if there's people who are still following from the radio station, who are now just looking at the page and seeing this pop up, thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for checking out the page and keeping up with the Joneses a little bit. You know what I mean? It's been great. It's been absolutely wonderful. So yeah, we made a lot of really good feedback, and I can't complain. It was a great debut, and I think I definitely learned, what I'm going to do different next time, and maybe what I'm going to do better next time. But ultimately, it was a great just first time. It was a memorable experience, and it only lasted an hour. So no complaints, man. If radio stations want to keep it quick and simple like that, I'm all right with that. No complaints. Don't got to sit in the studio all day.
Well, Frankie, for some reason, I know my last one, somehow my camera went out, but I'm going to still talk to you without seeing me on here until I get this going. I know this is a live interview, so I don't want to cut it, but yeah, you could continue and speak it, and we could do this and until I get this little glitch done. You could just still continue, and I'll still be promoting here in the back. All right?
Of course, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was just making your radio debut. What does that feel like? It was definitely heartwarming experience. Getting to work with Jeff Shannon, who is very loved by his community, was really cool. He was a very, very cool dude. When I had gotten there, I was kind of going in blind. I didn't necessarily know who I was looking for at first. Did a little research, found the guy, was able to connect faces on a picture, and I said, "All right, I'm gonna go introduce myself." And I said, "Hey, are you Jeff Shannon? I'm Frankie Ray." And he goes, "Oh, I know who you are." So that was really cool. You know what I mean? That just to hear that he had some nice, kind words to say to me, and he thought that I was doing good for myself. Getting the ball rolling and everything. So I was really appreciative of his hospitality, welcoming me into that community and into that environment. I definitely am not as progressed as those two songwriters that were sitting next to me. I'm also an artist compared to a songwriter or singer, so I have a different mentality when I'm up in a songwriting round. And so they were very comfortable to perform with, and we were giggling and laughing the whole time. And just, it was really fun. It was a good environment all around. So no complaints anywhere. It was such a good day. And I can't thank the WHIN team enough for having me a part of that. And Chris Austin for getting me the spot. I really appreciate it. So it's been awesome. But I just saw the Frankie Ray Music website. If you guys haven't gone to the website yet, go check it out. I'm always updating it and putting new stuff on there. So go check it out. I try to keep up with the blog I got on there. But I know something else that Carl wanted to talk about. I'll let him. I'll just keep going here. So I don't want to. I don't want to rush Carl and trying to figure out what's going on the technology side. A little technical difficulty. But.
Yeah, it's amazing that the last one I did with my friend in Florida, I pressed the button to try to do some other things, and then you hear me, right?
Oh, I can hear you just fine.
My camera was removed, so
I can see myself, and it's just a dark screen.
Yeah, that's what I look like, but I'm still here. So yeah, we'll continue this until you finish, and I'll be working this and see if I can get it back because hey, this is live, but it's okay. You don't mind this?
No, it's fine. It don't. I ain't asking for nothing special, Carl. You're good, buddy.
Gotcha.
You're good, buddy.
Keep going, buddy.
I'll keep going. So we wanted to talk about. Carl, I lost my train of thought. What were we going to talk about?
Your website.
Yeah. We'll talk more on the website. There we go. Oh, the podcast stuff. That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about what. Sorry, guys. Me and Carl are both very lost today. All right. So something to look forward to for the future, and something that's been actively being worked on as we speak. This past weekend, I did a lot of work towards it. I'm working with a buddy of mine who helps me with a lot with my marketing. Shout out to Colin Rowan. He helps me a lot with my marketing and just the marketing side of things and the business side of things. So me and him have come up with the idea that getting my personality out there and to show the people more my personality digitally outside of the shows would go really well and go over really well. So we're going to definitely start doing more vlogs, more little skits on Instagram and TikTok. So be on the lookout for those. We just did a couple. We just posted two or three skits just this past weekend, and they were super funny. So go check them out. Super fun to record too and edit with Colin.
I'm back.
You're back. There he is. Look at him. Good.
I'm still learning this technology after 2 years, but it's amazing. But I'm glad you're able to, as they say, stretch it and ad lib till I get it fixed. So continue, buddy.
You're good. You're good. And then getting to talk with Carl behind the scenes about possibly starting up a podcast of my own will be really, really cool. I think it'll be a lot of fun and get just a couple hour videos every now and then. Maybe when I meet somebody, bring them on, talk to them, get to know about them, just kind of talk music industry and talk music business and just see what comes of it. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to do anything too crazy or too wild. I just want to give people something to listen to, you know what I mean? And give it a try. So I'm excited to get that out to you guys.
That would be awesome, Mike, because we mentioned that I see that you're, with two other musicians. And like I mentioned, now I have the logo for Carl's Corner up in the top right-hand corner, but then we could put your banner, you could put yours up there. And this is the Frankie Ray podcast, and I can produce and direct them. You don't even have to see me. So it could be all yours. And that's what I'd be offering for you. So as soon as you start putting those pieces together, I really, and Frankie, if it gets successful, maybe you could get a sponsor that would help sponsor the whole thing, and we could, share some revenue there too. So that's the way it grows.
Yeah, it'll definitely be, I think, a really good opportunity to help share my personality with the world and with people who get to only really see me on stage most of the time. Get to know Frankie Ray in all shapes and forms, and I'll also get to learn stuff while also teaching things to people, and just getting to talk actively about the things that I'm learning and the things that I'm doing, the goods and the bads and the upside downs. I'd love to be able to just talk about it all, So best way to keep up with that stuff is
through your website, right?
What was that again?
Your people's contact to be able to get a hold of you would be through this website, correct?
Yep. There's so if you'll hit that little drop down menu when you get there, you'll see like about, you'll see upcoming shows, and then you'll see contact. It goes straight to my email, so it's a direct way to contact me. There's also one like that through the link tree as well, which is right there in the bottom corner. So yeah, you can find anything and everything you need to know, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm one of those people, I love being available for audience and for my fans. And so if I'm able to help you guys in any way, shape, or form, if there's anybody who wants to talk about being on the podcast, stuff like that, I'm going to add a little podcast inquiries page, just stuff like that, and just different things like that. So
Now,
we'll get to that
podcasts on your website? I know you have to physically do it because I don't have access to your website.
Mm-hmm.
But have you been able to put that, or maybe just put the link on from your website to the podcast?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I've done it for the last couple on the website, only because I've just been slacking. I was very busy at those times, but I do usually like to put the links in there. So for a couple of the podcasts, I'll get them in there. I got to go through and update it soon, but yeah, next time around that I'm updating, I'll be sure to add those. But
especially
I would also
if we start getting guests and it becomes yours, and we do that, it'll be the other, not only the YouTube pages, but for that. So that'd be great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
It'll be awesome. We'll be able to do a lot of stuff like that and a lot of promotions. It's kind of endless possibilities for promotion. I just want to make sure that I want to have good quality and get the quality out there. And these videos come out perfect, so I'm not complaining about that side. But I want to make sure that people are able to see it in all different ways and try to figure out a way to possibly get just the audio brought over so I can put it onto Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. And once I figure that out, I can help you with that, Carl, too. Kind of a way to, you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing.
Well, just to give you a little bit of the technical end, you could probably take a look at it. I use this program called StreamYard.
Right.
And what it does, that's why I say to stay on until make sure everything downloads. But it downloads a combination of both, but then it says it also has yours and mine. And then remember we talked about last time, the shorts got close to almost 2,000 views.
Yep. Yeah, the shorts were great, man.
Through AI. Now, did you able to see any of those?
Yeah, I was able to see them and go through. Some of them were kind of like super zoomed in on my face. So I was like, I don't know, it's a little uncomfortable, but I don't want anybody seeing my boogers. But
it does that automatically through AI. I don't do it. So through your talking points, and then it also has a feature on here that'll just give you audio. Right. So once it goes through this, and then we could say, hey, Carl, can you send me the audio of that? It's already done. All I got to do is send it to you. So
yeah, we can do stuff like that. I mean,
what's that? A cat in front of them? When you got a cat?
Yeah, I just got a cat not too long ago, Carl. I adopted a cat because he was too
between
cute.
My camera going out and your cat tail in front of it. It's like
this is a hard drop right here. This is what we call hard drops. This is the first time that he's made a public appearance. There you go. Right on Carl's Corners podcast is the first time.
He's shy, but he got their head down.
He's just kind of chilling here. Let's see. Turn towards him. Here you go, buddy.
What the hell is going on with these humans? There we go.
He's like, what is this?
He got stage fright. He wants to get away. He already wants a contract and wants residuals.
I know, right? He's now scratching his head on my computer. Knock it off. Let's see that hurt. So yeah, anyway, I got a cat.
So good. So what are you looking at time frame now? We are mid-May, almost Memorial Weekend. So let's talk about what you might have on, as the British would say, on the schedule. We haven't talked about that.
Yes. So the schedule coming up is pretty good. I love May's schedule. No complaints. You've got all those shows there at Friends tonight, 6 to 10. If anybody gets to watch this before 6 o'clock tonight, go ahead and come out to the show. It's gonna be 6 to 10 at Friends in Low Places. Come get your drinks, get your food. I tried the chicken tenders at Friends in Low Places for the first time the other night, and I think they're the best chicken tenders in the entire world. So come check them out. And then Wicked Ollie's. I've been working part-time at Wicked Ollie's Vintage on the weekends. So if you're ever around town, you want to come see me, I work there. And then most Fridays, especially in May, I'm also performing while working. So like I'll be working and then I'll jump off for a little bit and play a little bit on the stage. And then I get back to work right after. So if anybody's interested in coming out and checking that out, you're more than welcome. I wouldn't be working there if I didn't love it. And Wicked Ollie's Vintage, they just got such a cool vibe, and a lot of really, really cool things in the store and memorabilia and such. So
Now, for people who are watching around the country or whatever, exactly where is the location for both the places? Because obviously I'm in California, you're there in Nashville.
We could Friends in Low Places is down on Broadway, Nashville. So it's downtown Nashville there. It's in the heart of Broadway, so you cannot miss it. It's one of the largest. They've got one of the biggest neon signs out front, and it just says Friends on it. So if you are looking for that, very, very visible from any parts of the street. And then if you're going to Wicked Ollie's, you're going to come on out to Music Valley, which is out in Opryland, which is about 20 minutes from downtown Nashville. It is right next to the Grand Ole Opry and Opera Mills Mall and all that fun stuff like that. So Wicked Ollie's is right there in the Music Valley Shopping Mall. So it's a fun little place. So come check it out. We got Ernest Tubbs tour bus in the store, built into the store. It's pretty cool. 1964 Silver Eagle.
Yeah, that cat just mooned us.
Yep, yes he did. He just put his booty in the camera. It's his podcast debut, and he put his butt in the camera.
He did.
We gotta teach you publicity, brother.
So anything, once you get your June and summer schedule, let us know, and maybe you will be able to be a part of that too. So what do you have, anything more exciting that you're still around Nashville, anything outside of there about I know we talked about touring a while ago, but it might be down the road, but anything about that?
Yeah, we're always open to any gigs that take us out of the state or take us out of the area. Right now, I know the talk is to do more radio tours. So since the radio stuff went over really well, I think we are in the talks of possibly hitting a couple other radio stations throughout the summer. So I'm super excited to do stuff like that. And that'll be a lot more interview style, different things like that. Play my music on the radio. I'm super excited for that. So I'll be in touch with you guys about that and where to look for that stuff. And then on top of that, touring music wise, I'm going to try my best to get more stuff booked outside of the state, maybe in some Alabama areas. Right now, the plan is to go home for a little vacation in sometime in July. So maybe there might be a pop-up show in Jersey sometime in July. So be on the look for that, everybody. I may do one or two shows just to kind of say hello. It's good to see you guys, and just let me know. Let me know in the comments. I think this is a good thing. It's something that could bring some fun here. Let me know in the comments where was everyone's favorite spot in Jersey that they saw me live, or maybe somebody wants to see me live, and we can we'll take a little tally, and whatever one gets the most love, we'll try to see.
Where do you think Jersey locations would be?
Everyone loved the Golden Nugget. That was like our best. That was one of our best shows. So, if not the Golden Nugget,
where was the Golden Nugget? I know Golden Nugget actually is the casino Atlantic City too.
Berlin, maybe.
Berlin.
I think maybe it counts as Berlin. I might be wrong on that. Don't hate on me. I'm horrible at geography, but I think it might be Berlin. But yeah, the Golden Nugget it's a big hot spot. It's one of the only like country bars in that area. So everyone knows the Golden Nugget. So they also have the best wings in the entire world. So if you're ever looking for wings, get
better than the Jug Handle and Maple Shade.
100%.
Better than that.
I don't even need to try them all, Carl. I don't even need to try them all. Golden Nugget has the best wings.
All right, because I actually know that they're the real wings that are over there in the one in Maple Shade that I was talking about, the Jug Handle. Yeah,
Jug Handle. I've never been to the Jug Handle. I'll have to try.
Oh, see that? There you gotta go. That's the original.
I'll have to try it, but Golden Nugget. They've got.
Who knows? Maybe that'll give. So when in July? Do you have any specific dates in July that you might be going back?
I'm not 100% sure right now, but again, as soon as I know, I'll be able to tell you guys. I don't want to get any hopes up. If there isn't a show, sorry. You gotta understand it's my vacation, so I'm gonna try to book. I'm going to try to keep it limited. Knowing me, I would like to go home for a week And in that week, I would cram a ton of shows in 1 week. But
Now,
knowing
are you
me,
driving or flying when you go back?
I'll likely drive. I'll likely
Okay.
drive. I'll be able to bring.
How long of a drive is it for you?
It's 12 hours, just
12
about.
hours?
It usually winds up being 12 hours with traffic and everything. We almost always hit traffic somewhere, usually around DC, is the worst. Last time I drove was right after Christmas, right after New Year's. It was like 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days after New Year's, and it snowed. It was like that bad snowstorm, and it hit Maryland and some parts of Virginia, and it was like coming down from the north. And we drove right through it, had a stop in – where did we stop in Maryland? Do you remember what the area was? We don't remember the name of the area, but we had to stop somewhere in Maryland. It was right outside of DC. We wound up stopping, having to add about 3 or 4 hours. We went and got a hotel and just slept the morning away and left at 11. Maryland does not know how to take care of their roads when it snows. I don't know where they've been for the past, 50 years when we've had all this snow technology, maybe even longer, but they do not know how to take care of the roads when it snows. Virginia, on the other hand, it was like it didn't even snow on the roads. It was like the snow fell and skipped the road.
That's why I'm living out here, buddy. After you get so
I don't
old,
blame you. I don't blame you.
it's like it is. Gas is still a little bit high, but it's just.
Right.
I don't know if you saw my post over the weekend. It's absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, where I live, hit almost a 95 to 100 degree, but I don't have to worry about that S word or the ice or the schmutz, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember living through the 96 blizzard when it was 3 feet. And that's, anyway.
Imagine the places that get like 9 feet and they can't even open their doors.
Well, that was part of that. We lived over there in Virginia in Westmont, tried to open the door and it just wouldn't open. And
Crazy.
So yeah, I'm glad to be out here. So, well, that's a good possibility. So for people also know that's the New Jersey outside of Philadelphia. And you think you get down the shore at all?
Oh yeah, I think part of the plan in July is to make a shore day with the family. Go ahead and just try to go and see the beach and take Emily to her first beach. She's never been to a beach before, so that'll be fun. And just get some pizza, get some curly fries, go on a couple rides on the pier.
That's roast pork. I'm dying for a roast pork sandwich.
Oh, roast pork, man. He didn't make it this year. I don't think he made it this year for New Year's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a knucklehead. I don't think he made it this year. He might have made it. I can't remember.
He probably knew I wasn't coming. He would have made it for me because that's when the time
he's waiting for your return, Carl. He's going to make it
for a little bit. And it's funny now. I know with the travel ID that you needed the new special thing on your license. Yep. So
you got to have real ID nowadays.
Yeah, so I'm not going to, because I still have a Jersey license that doesn't expire until 26. So I figured I'm going to get a passport because I haven't, and I'm finally going to get my info. So I would definitely fly. I wouldn't try to drive that, but I am dying because I can make cheesesteaks out here and all that stuff because you just have to find a good bread and the steak is good. But it's the roast pork. When I came back last September, I stayed at my cousin's. There's a place called Corolla's by him. I think we went there 4 times out of 3 out of 4. At least I got a roast pork sandwiches. So,
I love roast
all right.
pork.
So let's just, if you have more to do, we can wrap up a little bit. But it would be really exciting if you'd be able to, we do, Frankie Ray's podcast with your little logo up top, and we could do it.
It would be super cool. I'm definitely. I've been debating it, and I think it'll go over well. I just want to make sure I can kind of plan out a couple months just to make sure I have people to bring on and things to talk about. I'm not going to go on there and just, jab about myself for an hour. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I can get some people on there. And once I know I can do that, then I'll be in touch with you. And you guys can look forward to hopefully doing something like that. So
one other thing I mentioned to that one song, did you able to listen to it to think maybe to add it to?
I listened to it after, man. It's a fun tune, man. It's fun.
That song always reminds me of growing up in the '60s in Haddon Heights and Barrington when it was a little bit more laid back. Everything was in black and white, and it's basically your neighbor and people growing up in a
Yep.
quieter and a simpler time. And really, where you grew up, even though we're at the day, it still has that down home feel to it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yep. There's so many songs by different artists that I listen to that talk about their hometowns, and especially when I hear Springsteen talk about his hometown. I mean, it just reminds me so much of my own, and a lot of the stuff he talks about is more old school. But listening to that, it reminds me of my time with my grandfather. It reminds me of the time I spend with my uncle, and um, that's stuff that I don't get anymore. When I'm out here, so that's stuff that really means a lot to me, and when I do get it, so listening to those songs, especially like the song "My Hometown" by Springsteen, that just speaks a million words, man.
yeah, I hate this. I hate to bring it up, but it's going to be. I know you brought up your grandfather.
Yeah,
It's going to be that 2015. That
yep.
was a devastating year because your
10 years in
grandfather,
August.
grandmother, and Julie, and all of that. And it's amazing. It's been 10 years since,
Ten
and
years
how we.
is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's amazing. And I
Crazy.
remember you. I won't bring it up. I remember you at your grandfather's funeral. There was a couple of things you mentioned that actually had somebody so touching back then. It's just,
Yeah,
it was and what it was. It was all family.
yep.
You
That's
can't
all it is.
describe it. Yeah,
Yeah. It was a tough time, but it's definitely crazy to sit here and go, wow, it feels like yesterday. And there's I mean, there's days where I feel like I start thinking about what would this day or what would this moment feel like if they were still here? You know what I mean? And um, the good thing to say is, everyone will say, they're still with you, they're still in your heart, and I truly believe that. Um, but there is days where it's like, man, I wonder what they would say right now. You know what I mean? What would they be feeling right now? How would they feel about this?
but
And
Frankie,
10 years.
I have to say, I'm very spiritual. That
Yeah.
when I first started seeing how you're starting your career, I probably got a message through them. Hey, go talk to Frankie. Get him out there.
Yeah.
So the little things that happen, and here we are 2 years later. Now your ninth appearance, and it's a wonderful mesh. I appreciate you being on
Yeah.
here, and
It's awesome.
actually giving my podcast legitimacy.
Yep.
Because I was able to go against some pops, some potential clients. They say, well, now obviously I'll be charging, a fee for what I would do
Yeah.
for them, but I said, well, look what I did here. And I see yours. It's like, wow, he's been on 8,
Huh?
9 times. And it's
Crazy.
credibility. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, buddy. It's been awesome, man. And I appreciate you helping me out and giving me the material to work with. You know what I mean? And giving people something to listen to and having that outlet. You've not only made it comfortable for them, for the people who've listened to become comfortable with Frankie Ray and all that, but it gives me the ability to now be comfortable with myself enough to speak and to talk and talk about myself and understand that it's okay to brag a little bit at times, to be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm really proud of this moment for myself, and I want to share that with the people and share that excitement and that feeling with people out there. It's a really nice thing to have, and I appreciate you very much for it. So,
Well, yeah. So let's just wrap up. So you actually have a gig. It's tonight, right?
yep, I got one tonight at 6 o'clock. So we'll
And is
see
that
if
the band or you? Is that just
that's me in
solo?
a band. No,
That's the
that's me in
band.
a band. Yep, we've
And
got
just go over the remaining schedule for the rest of the month then before we
yep.
close.
It's a great time. Come check it out. You've got some of the best musicians in Nashville. I get the blessing of working with some of the coolest people. So uh, definitely come check it out. It's going to be an awesome time. Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
Anything
appreciate
in
it.
closing? So they could get a hold of you by your website.
Yep. You can reach out on the website, and I'll be there. And I'll get back to you as
And it's
soon as I can.
Frankie.com.
FrankieRayMusic.com. Super simple. All one word. FrankieRayMusic.com.
Beautiful.
Super easy to get.
We got to get all the plugs in before we sign
Yep.
off. And
Yep.
anything else in closing? And we're going to play this
Huh?
other little clip of your performance as we leave. So anything else in closing, buddy?
Nope. No, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support that you showed through the radio stuff. I really appreciate it. So.
And the next time might be number 1. It'll be the Frankie Ray podcast, or episode 10 for Carl's Corner. So stay tuned for that sometime soon. We'll let everybody know. And as you know, stay on for a little bit. We'll chat a little bit afterwards and make sure to download. Thanks again, Frank.
Of course, buddy. Thank you.